Hello everybody, this is Tony from Kate's Crafty Closet, and today I'm going to show you how I made this clean and simple card using one stamp set, one ink pad. And let's go ahead and get started today. So first thing I went ahead and did is I did go ahead and do a top folding card using some 110-pound Neenah Solar White. So put that to the side. Then I went ahead and had some watercolor paper, paper pad. This is some green ones. So I went ahead and used the MFT stitched frame rectangle die and cut that out. Then I went ahead and did a piece of 80-pound Neenah Solar White and a smaller stitched frame die from MFT. So we're going to head and put a few of these things aside. So now we have this, and then I have the stamp set that I recently purchased from Flora and Fauna, and it is called the mini Be Nice or Leaf stamp set. So I went ahead and put this on the big leaf on a block right here, and I'm going to go ahead and use some VersaFine Clair called Green Oasis. This is a pigment ink, so I like the way it really does a good image on the first try, and it's like I like it. But for today we're going to do second and third generation stamping, just so we don't have to pull out 3 different color ink pads to get 3 different effects. So I'm just going to do one, the solid image, then I'm going to go here with the second generation, and then finally third generation right there. And I like the fact that we have other little gradients going on in there. Like, I'm okay with that because this is foliage, like in the forest. It's not going to be perfect, so I'm going to go ahead with my second. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead with the third, and then finally third generation stamping right there. So we have one more we're going to do down in this bottom corner. I'm not going to do the whole stamp this time. Okay, and we have the second, and then we'll go in with the third as well. See, perfect. And it's like I was supposed to do it on this one because I already had my sentiments in there already, because I struggle with small sentiments. So I went ahead and did a bunch of time on some scrap sheet of paper just to test it out, and boy did I make a lot of errors. So it's okay to go ahead and, you know, stamp it off a couple times, get yourself used to the stamp set and how it stamps. So that's what I really basically I had to do. And it's like I had to go ahead and just stamp it out several times. And finally, as I said, it took me a while, but I got it done. Okay, and I like that that one right there has like a gradient effect on the leaves. So there we go. And we're going to clean off our surface with my microfiber cloth so we don't get ink all over the place. And the black ink that I used was a Blackout ink from Ink on 3, like one of my favorites black inks to use for my stamping needs. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend that one. So let's just go ahead and use some art glitter glue and apply this panel onto our watercolor. Any kind of background paper will do, whatever you want, so whatever you have on hand. This is just a watercolor pad I picked up at Joann's in the clearance section, but there's so many awesome watercolor pads out there. So that is pretty much what we have going on there. And I'm going to put some foam squares on the back. These are just foam squares that I always pick up at Dollar Tree if I see them, because I like the fact that they're big and they do the trick, and I don't have to spend a lot of time, you know, pulling off the release paper and stuff like that. So like I said, they don't see these very often, so when I do see them, I make sure I grab all of them, because I will go through these like crazy. So that is the front. So then I'm going to go ahead and take some of the liquid pixie dust from Ink on 3, another staple item that has to be in my craft room, because who doesn't like to put sparkle on everything? Always make sure you shake it up so you can get that suspension mixed together really well. And I have one of these little palettes right here I always keep on the side of my desk, and I already have some in there, so I'm just going to go ahead with my brush. It's like you could add some water to this if you want. Like I have a little bit of water in here, I'm going to add to it. Okay, and just remember that if I'm going to go on the darker ones. Just remember, if you are using a water-based ink, it is going to react with this liquid pixie dust because it's a wet medium. But if it's a pigment that's already been dried or it's been heat set, you should be good to go. But just take into consideration that you may have a little bit of reaction with the ink depending on what type of ink you use. And here I'm just trying to be careful and stay within the lines. And the one thing about this card, no matter how many times you make it, no two are going to be alike. And that's the best part about it. They're always going to be a one of a kind, because you're never really, honestly, going to stamp those leaves into the exact same spot each and every time, because it's one stamp and you are moving. I like the fact that this one's a little bit distressed, because that just reminds me that, hey, this is nature. This is nature. So had fun with this. You can use whatever colors you want. You can use multiple type colored inks, and if you don't want to do second and third generation stamp, but if you want more of a crisp image, you most certainly can do that. And basically I would just peel off the backing, put some art glitter glue in there, and I will just attach it to our base that we already made prior to this. And this completes our card for today. So I want to thank you all for joining me as always, and everything that I use in today's video will be linked down in the description box below. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and as well as if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and when the little notification bell pops up, go ahead and hit that, and YouTube should notify you each and every time that I upload a video. So again, thank you all for joining me, and you all have a craft today, y'all.